Man, she say she want hood nigga. I keep the perk by the pound. The trunk stay bumped and y'all know we run the town. Hood nigga. And I keep a bad bitch around. Thick bitch, long hair, yellow, white, red, brown. Hood nigga. And my Chevy sitting on 24s. Flats look like flapjack. Pancake, you ain't no hood nigga. I'ma play the game how it go. They can take me out the hood, but I'ma keep it hood, folks. I'm on that hood good and alcohol. I got some down bitches I can't call. What's that? What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can give a darn about no hate long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hate long as these bitches love me. I'm on that. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this country shit. Country shit. Country shit. Let me tell you about this super fly, dirt coast, muddy water. Shorty, pop that pussy if you wanna. Let me tell you about this old school pouring lean, candy yams and collard greens, pocket full of stones, riding clean.
Well, I'm just one parlay away from a new house, new car. I'm just one parlay away. Trust I'ma take us far. I'm just one parlay away. One parlay away. One parlay away. Oh, I took the Chiefs on over. Took my homes on yards. Everything is going good so far. So far. Lakers beating the Knicks. Spread is only 6. 2 minutes left in the game, baby. I'm about to hit. Ow!
I need out, yeah, I need out. Blood pressure higher than a body count. Tomorrow she has to go. She's a mama. I think I married a hoe. Married a hoe. I said, mama, I think I married a hoe. I made a mistake, mama. No, oh no. I want you. A man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. Ain't loyal. All these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah. These hoes ain't loyal. Yeah. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal. When a rich brother wants you and your man can't do nothing for you. All these hoes ain't loyal. Ain't loyal. Whoa, these hoes ain't loyal. Yeah. These hoes ain't loyal. Yeah. These hoes ain't loyal. 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 These hoes ain't loyal.
back up in here again, y'all. Let me get my Otis. Get that Otis going, man. Welcome back, y'all, to another one, man. Another episode on the JVJ Network. I am your host. Let's talk with JVJ, man. Y'all know we ain't punishment times, but we doing everything over here like we're supposed to be. On your way in, as usual, though, y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn the notifications on, all that in the bag of chips, man. We trying to grow around here. We can definitely only do it with y'all, so hopefully y'all do that for your boy. It's called the Help a Brother Out special. Look, man, it's been a lot of things that's been going on recently with politics and stuff, and a lot of people are trying to get into the political field. They want to speak about it. They want to give their opinions and stuff. And no one better than the good old Cooning A. Smith decided he wanted to start talking about some of the things that have been recently going on with this administration that we got and some of the actions that they have been taking. And he had some choice words and energy for some people, former service members and things of that sort, because of a video that was put out. I'm not gonna get too deep in the video that was put out and stuff, because they're gonna talk about it in this video where Stephen A. is just yelling and crying a lot. But we're gonna break this down, because a lot of folks don't know. They speak on military things and they never served. They talk about they got a friend or something like that means something. We just gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it because this was embarrassing. And when we go to the comment section, y'all gonna see why I even say that even more, because this is like nobody is on your side on this one. But as usual, get your cigarettes, get your weed, get whatever you need, man, because we about to jump into it. And salute the Hurricane. I see you in the chat, man. But he said, politics, politricks. You already know it. Let's go ahead and get Steven up here, because you know he's gonna get so emotional. He cares so much, y'all.
Straight Shooter with Stephen A.
Straight Stupid. That's what it should have been titled. Straight Stupid.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly, the one and only Stephen A. Smith, coming at you as I love to do every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airwaves of Sirius XM, POTUS Radio, channel 124. Number to call up as always is 866-96-POTUS. That's 866-96-POTUS. 866-967-6887 is the number to call up. I'm wishing everybody but they are certainly in serious condition after being shot, ambushed by a lone gunman. That's the situation right now, and a lot of people are being it, and people are calling it something associated with politics. They're saying it's political or what have you. We don't know for sure, and we're certainly not going to act like
yeah, we skipping ahead all that shit. I don't want to hear him talking about that.
They don't make it hard to blame them. So let's lock in and zero in on some of the stuff that's just been happening a couple of days ago alone.
All right, here we go, y'all.
Did you see the video? I'm going to ask y'all again. Did you see the video? A video by these 6 elected officials. Senator Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan. Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona. Representative Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire. Representative Jason Crow of Colorado. And Representatives Chris DeLuzio and Chrissy Houlihan of Pennsylvania. Those are the Democratic lawmakers who are now under FBI inquiry because they made a video essentially encouraging military folks to ignore orders they deemed illegal handed down by the commander-in-chief, who is known as President Donald Trump.
Now, see, right here, and it's the thing that I've seen a lot of Republican pundits, conservative pundits go on shows and they got mad about this video that they put out, and they keep making sure they never say exactly what the people said. Now, there was a video that came out, y'all, with a few of these Democratic lawmakers, and most of these people served in the military. They worked for the federal government in another capacity outside of them working just as senators now. They made a video telling people, you do not have to obey illegal orders. They said it perfectly clear so many times, and it shouldn't be mistaken. Matter of fact, I'm actually gonna pull that up because I don't want to just be sitting here saying stuff when we can clearly, let's see, Democrat senator. We about to get the actual video, because people like Stephen A. Smith and these other conservatives, they choose to They choose to not tell the exact truth of what they actually said. And they just keep running off of this other talking point that doesn't exist. But either way, though, let's say, how you spell Democrat? Let's see. Makers. Yeah, makers video. That they also bent out of goddamn shape about. Yeah, here we go, y'all. I'm about to play y'all the video real fast, and then we gonna come back to that, because this like, man, look, if you gonna get all up and get your panties in a bunch of shit, at least be honest about what the hell these people actually said, and stop trying to turn it into something that it's not. But either way though, it's par for the course. So CBS, don't strike the video for me showing this. I'm gonna keep it small just because. Here you go, check this, y'all.
Chris Deluzio joined 5 other Democratic lawmakers, all of them military or intelligence community veterans, to urge current officials to disobey illegal orders. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a former CIA, say threats just
Play the video.
This is hard, and that it's a difficult. This is
all right,
hard.
here we go.
For our Constitution, carry out orders. No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard, and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical,
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
All right, so y'all heard that right now. Y'all heard that right now. In the very beginning, what they
Serving
say?
in the CIA,
In the Army or Navy, we know this is
or no one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
we know
Don't carry out orders that violate the law and the Constitution, aka illegal orders. All right. Now we're gonna go back to Stephen A. Smith crying, telling them I don't even know what the fuck that nigga was on. But either way, though, I'm gonna let him keep going, man, because he wanted to dig a hole.
Needless to say, Trump was not going to take that lying down. So naturally, he had something to say about that on his Truth Social platforms. I got 3 of them to read to y'all right now so you know what he's saying. President of the United States, Donald Trump, November 20th, 2025, writes, "It's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set." President DJT. That wasn't his own.
Now think about this. This man calling this seditious. He's saying these people need to be punished. Ain't he the damn party of supposedly free speech when it's white people running around calling black people niggas and shit? They all for free speech then. But when somebody says that this motherfucker give you an illegal order, you don't have to follow it. Oh, this is sedition of the highest order. And Stephen A., he buying the same dumb shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm explaining to y'all why what they said ain't nothing that they trying to make it out to be. This is like a bunch of crybabies crying.
Only tweet or post on Truth Social. Then he comes back, seditious behavior, all caps, punishable by, and the word death in caps. He had one more that he posted. Here it is. The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Respectful.
This motherfucker talking about sedition. Motherfucker, you pardoned a whole bunch of people that tried to overthrow the government because you lied to them and told them that they stole an election from you. But that ain't nowhere near in your line of sedition or nothing like that. Breaking windows, trying to hang people, hang Mike Pence. Y'all was cheering that shit on. You sitting in the White House just watching it, not doing nothing about it. That's all perfectly fine. But if somebody tells you not to obey an order that's illegal, that goes against the law and the Constitution, now it's sedition, punishable by death. These traitors, all of this nonsense, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Now, Stephen A. is gonna come on here and back up what Trump and all these other snowflake ass pussies are saying. You're lying out you're gonna be lying out your fucking teeth, and you're wrong. I'm just going here and let the rabbit out the bag, y'all. Let the rabbit out the hat or whatever the hell. I served in the military. It's literally in the USMCJ to not obey an illegal order. Just like when all that crap happened over there to them so-called people that think they somebody, when that whole thing happened, and all the Russian soldiers were like, German soldiers was like, oh, just following orders. That shit don't fly in America. If it's against the law and you do it, even though they told you to do it, you're going to be held accountable for it. They're telling these people, hey, look, refer to your USMCJ that tells you do not follow no illegal order. If somebody tell you to shoot this person in the face and they're not a combatant, you better not do it, because if you do it, you better get your ass court-martialed. You're going to military prison. They're going to send your ass to the brig. You can't just say I'm following orders, but for somebody like Stephen A. that ain't never served a day in his life, just like his so-called president that he loves so much, who ain't never served a day in his life, you know, Captain Bone Spurs is what used to be his little nickname on the street. They want to get mad and tell people something. It's like, in all this shit right here, y'all, is coming out of the woodworks because the motherfucker keep bombing these boats off of Venezuela. That's why it's all happening. That's why them people were telling them that. Like, bro, y'all don't have to follow the legal order. They keep saying these drug boats. Well, like, where's the proof of the drug boats? We ain't got no proof. Just believe us. That's why they told them that. They told everybody, do not follow legal orders. Them motherfuckers don't even know the fucking law, and they work in government. You're the highest office in government, and you don't even know the fucking law. And Stephen A., you got enough resources for people to actually look it up for you and let you know. But you didn't even want to do that. You want to get on here and you about to start talking and looking stupid. Here you go. I'm letting them cook. I'm sorry. Let me stop talking. I'm gonna let them cook.
Hold on, Mr. President. That's not entirely true. You could have said seditious language, and you may have had a point, particularly when it comes to what we saw on video from Senator Mark Kelly. I don't know if we have that video right now, but I'd like to see it if we did. My point is, you could have said seditious language. You could have said that was irresponsible. You could have said, how dare you give such a directive to our military men and women who serve under my command because I'm the commander-in-chief. You could have said that and stopped right there. Traitorous, punishable by death. That's a bit extreme, Mr. President. Highly irresponsible on your part, I might add. Definitely hyperbolic, beyond the realms of embellishment, and dare I say, irresponsible on your part to be coming out with such rhetoric like that. You're calling for a United States senator to be seen as a traitor, to be arrested. You're accusing him of an act of treason, punishable by death, and you think that helps. Before.
Now, y'all saw that all the energy. He trying to make it seem like he gonna be a fair, straight shooter. Watch how it changes so quick.
I go any further. I'd like my team to put up on the screen the credentials of this particular senator who called for Trump's orders to be ignored. I would like to remind you that this is a retired United States Navy combat pilot who served our country with honor and distinction. I'd like to remind the president this is a NASA astronaut, not to mention a sitting United States senator in the United States of America. That's what you just said. Respectfully, Mr. President, Mark Kelly served this country with distinction. You didn't. Not as a military official. I forgot what it was that Westmore joked about when it came to you, the governor of Maryland, and what rationale you used to avoid entry into the United States military.
Bone spurs, nigga. Bone spurs.
But you would think that there's a level of sensitivity that the president would have.
Motherfucker said he got fucked up feet.
Sensitivity, maybe not towards Mark Kelly, but towards the process. Knowing our country and who we are and what we stand for. And he should not be saying something like that. Having said that, respectfully, to Senator Mark Kelly and the other 5 representatives in our nation's capital, Trump wasn't entirely correct. That's true. He also wasn't entirely incorrect. Senator Slotkin, Senator Kelly, Representatives Crow, DeLuzio, Houlihan, and Goodlander. The president wasn't entirely wrong. He may have gone too far with treasonous, punishable by death. But was he wrong to allude to the word seditious, or to say the word seditious, particularly when it comes to the language that emanated out of the mouth of Mark Kelly? At least that's the one I saw. No, he was not. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, looking at Senator Slotkin on television, I believe it was on ABC over the weekend. She claimed on national television, National Guardsmen were going to start shooting at American civilians. That wasn't responsible. Senator Slotkin, what's that about? What's that about? That doesn't help matters. And as it pertains to Senator Kelly, let's make sure we point this out too, because this is incredibly important. It really, really is. When you look at Senator Kelly and what he said, I asked somebody, one of my researchers, to look this up for me because I wanted to know exactly what this was. And what am I asking about, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you what I'm asking about. Because when he called for the military to essentially ignore orders, I started thinking back to that movie, A Few Good Men. I started thinking about Tom Cruise.
And you see, this is the funny part about this, man, because like he just admitted he got researchers. So like, bro, you should have looked it up. And the people who set your show up, read the title at the bottom. FBI probing Democrats who told troops to defy illegal orders. When is this motherfucker ever gonna say they told him illegal orders? Because that's what his own team put below. If they told him to defy illegal orders, that's not against the law. And it's literally up on your screen, Stephen A. It's literally up on your screen. But you about to go in on these folks for telling them to do exactly what's in their USMCJ, what's actually the law? This is crazy. It's on his own screen. That kind of caught my eye right there. Like he's saying defy the president and all that shit. No, dude, they literally said don't fucking follow an illegal order. It's literally in your USMCJ not to do that. And it's on your screen, but you still gonna act like they said something else.
Cruise having the character played by Kiefer Sutherland.
This is
I think
crazy,
it was
right?
Lieutenant Kendrick. And when he was grilling him, and there was an objection from the DA, Kevin Bacon, I remember the judge looking at Tom Cruise and saying, and I will remind you, you're talking to a decorated officer. Because essentially it was a reminder that this isn't a normal court of law. This is the United States military. They live by a different code. They live by a different code of ethics. It's called the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ. It's the federal law that governs the conduct of all U.S. military personnel, active duty reservists, and in some cases, even retired service members. It functions at the military's legal system, separate from civilian law, with its own courts, crimes, procedures, and punishments. That's what it says here. What does the Uniform Code for Military Justice actually do? It sets the rules for crimes and offenses, service member rights, court-martial procedures, non-judicial punishment, Article 15, by the way, and command authority. Why it exists? Because military service requires standards of discipline and readiness beyond civilian law. Essentially, a consistent legal framework. If anybody knows that, it's Mark Kelly. Respectfully, Senator, what the hell are you doing? Looking into the camera and telling military men and women to ignore the commander-in-chief. How dare you?
And still, illegal orders still on the screen, y'all. He won't say telling them to disobey illegal orders. He just keeps saying disobey the orders of the president. That ain't what they told him. That is not, look, I don't get how his team can have that up on screen. And he's over here talking and saying all this shit. They didn't say that, nigga. They didn't say that.
How dare
you even have it? I'm not tripping, y'all. He has it on his screen. Look, let me take the chat away. Y'all look at y'all think I'm. It says FBI probing Democrats who told troops to defy illegal orders. And this nigga just keeps saying defy the commander-in-chief. I'm literally, man, I'm gonna lose my mind on this one. I'm gonna lose my mind on this one. Literally, it's on your screen, Stephen A. And you keep saying something else. You did the same thing that I heard all them Fox pundits doing. All them people that come on the CNN talks and all that shit. All these little mouthpieces for the Democrat, the Republican Party. They intentionally keep coming out here lying about what these people said. And they're losing their mind over it. It's like, if you stop lying to yourself first, then maybe you wouldn't lose your mind about it. But I guess it's the talking point that you just got to keep pushing, because they know a lot of Republicans are fucking stupid. They know a lot of Americans are stupid, but a lot of them are really fucking dumb. Really fucking dumb.
You do that. That's right. I'm calling out. I never served in the military. That's true. I have family members who did. Some of my best friends have. Marines, Air Force, Navy, Army. I haven't heard one of them, not one of them, say that was okay. How dare you do that? Is it treason? No. Is it punishable by death? It shouldn't be. So the answer is no. But you know better, Senator Kelly. You know better. How dare you do that? What are you supposed to do? You're a ranking senator. You can go to the Senate. You can go to the House. You can put up drawer up paperwork. You can try to start articles of impeachment if you think there's something illegal. I mean, damn, it ain't like y'all haven't done it before. You impeached the man twice. Where'd that get you? Got his behind back in the White House. Had you left him alone since 2020, maybe he wouldn't be back terrorizing the Democratic Party the way that he is. But you did it. You did it. And here you are again with this nonsense. How dare you do that? I'm not a military person, and I know better than that.
Obviously, you don't. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. And you acting like, see, and I told y'all, he said that shit at the beginning to try to make it seem like he's fair. He tried to come at Trump saying, you shouldn't have said all that. That was wrong, Mr. President. And now he's just trying to lash out on these motherfuckers for actually doing something that they didn't do. like, I'll tell you like Skip told Shannon, Stephen, put your glasses back on, bro. Put your glasses back on, bro. Go ahead, like you got people that supposedly are in your family and friends that were in the military. Well, why didn't they tell your stupid ass don't come on the internet saying dumb shit when you're wrong? Look loud and proud and wrong all at the same time.
You don't tell military men and women to ignore an order from the
illegal orders. They do. Yeah, illegal. You see how he will not say illegal orders? It's still on the screen. It's still on the fucking screen, bro.
The commander-in-chief. You don't do that.
It's
Is it going to
crazy.
amount to what Trump tried to embellish and indicate? No. But that don't make you right. How dare you do that? He's the commander-in-chief for the United States military. Period. You have no business doing that. None. And by the way, the biggest reason is because what was illegal? You didn't tell us what it was. What laws? Why did I bring up A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise and Kiefer Sutherland in that sequence and Kevin Bacon? Why did I bring it up? Because the mere thought of you even implying that a military officer is engaging in some type of salacious or illegal activity is trouble in the military, not the court of laws for civilians, the military. Senator Mark Kelly knows that. Trump
What the fuck is he talking
giving
about?
illegal orders. What are the illegal orders? How come you didn't tell us? Where's the evidence?
They didn't accuse the motherfucker of giving illegal orders. Like, for his head to be that big, is his brain really big enough with it? Like, bro, what are you talking about? They didn't accuse him of giving no illegal orders. They just reminded the troops of what the USMCJ says, and it says to do not follow illegal orders. If you receive an illegal order, do not follow it. It's literally in your USMCJ not to follow them. Like, how is he glossed? Like, what the hell is he talking about? What's the illegal order? They just reminded them. Ain't nobody got to say, they ain't smart enough to know to not get out here and accuse a motherfucker of something that they can't technically prove. Because we can't technically prove whether or not these bombings of these Venezuelan shipping boats are illegal or not. We can't prove that yet because we don't have enough evidence. We ain't got enough. We have to do an investigation of that shit. And they're about to investigate that shit, whether you know it or not. He keeps saying they're drug boats. Drugs don't come from Venezuela to the United States. We got a long history of knowing where them drugs going. Them drugs going to Europe. And if it ain't a little suspicious for everybody out here, you know that the United States has a lot of allies and a lot of partners in other countries that we deal with. We trade information with other countries to combat certain things, whatever we're trying to do around a certain area. Drugs that come from Venezuela end up in Europe. Europe don't even fucking share. They said they done sharing information with the United States because of the bombing of them ships. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? All we heard is Pete Hegseth and all these other motherfuckers talking about these are drug boats. No evidence. Just like they stole the election. No evidence. And you get mad that these senators on the other side of the aisle who are adversary to your party with not getting any information, no credible information to validate what you're saying, are reminding the troops not to follow an illegal order. You got your panties in a bunch. Y'all got Stephen A on TV right now looking stupid. Well, he already do that on the regular, but damn, this is just really bad. I can leave them motherfuckers as far as I can goddamn see them. I'm being dead ass serious. The motherfuckers lie so much. This motherfucker is one of the lyingest president I've ever seen in my life. That motherfucker tell me the sky's blue. I'm gonna have to walk outside and double check it if that motherfucker said it. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna have to walk outside and double check it if he said it. That's how much that motherfucker be lying. And Stephen A obviously doesn't know anybody in the fucking military. Just being honest with y'all.
Where's the evidence? Why do you think the investigation is going on? Why do you think Trump is all over Pete Hegseth, over the Department of War and the FBI with Kash Patel, and folks are looking into and probing what's going on and how can they get to Mark Kelly because they know he did something wrong. You crossed the damn line. You are an elected official in the nation's capital. We have a constitution. You got a problem, you go through the necessary process. Whether it's Akeem Jeffries in the House, whether it's Schumer in the Senate, or anybody else. That is the point that's the process you're supposed to go to. You don't go in front of the cameras and give military officers or military personnel a directive to ignore their commander-in-chief. And you've given no evidence what his illegal orders were. And if you try to sit up there and say, oh, it was just alluding to a future reference to future situations. Oh, so he's going to give you an illegal order in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that flies.
Have you ever heard of if he gives an illegal order? It doesn't matter when, where, how. If. That's all that matters. It's like that. I guess that's that reverse psychology bullshit. It's like you got a girlfriend or whatever. You about to go to the bar and whatever the hell, hang out with the boys and shit. And she's just like, make sure you come back at a decent hour. And you can turn around using Stephen A's logic and be like, why are you telling me that? What, you think I ain't gonna come back? So you're implying that I'm not gonna come back? Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. Get that motherfuckers, man, get that shit out your mouth, Stephen A. I'm just telling you that. Get that shit out your mouth.
Over the airwaves of Sirius XM or one of these news networks or something like that. It does not apply in our military. You can't do that.
This can.
So once again, here we are finding ourselves.
He's not in the
to
military,
all of us moderates out here, which makes up about 80 to 85% of the electorate, by the way. What does this all mean? What this all means is that there's an absence of common sense on the fringes. Extreme right, extreme left, people don't know how the hell to act. And engaging in this kind of back and forth gives the impression of dissension and vitriol beyond the realms of sensibilities. And something needs to be done. This is why a damn sports guy with no interest in being an elected official is being considered a presidential candidate, because we don't trust their asses. Because they don't know how to act.
There ain't nobody considering you none of that, Stephen A.
This is overboard. I thought hyperbole and embellishment was supposed to be reserved for Trump, Senator Kelly. That's what I thought. Evidently, I was wrong. Rahm Emanuel, former White House Chief of Staff, former mayor of Chicago, as knowledgeable as they come in the world of politics. He's up next with yours truly right here.
I want y'all to see this, man. This is embarrassing, y'all. This is embarrassing. He got up here and said all that shit. He got all that energy from Mark Kelly and shit. Look, man, I want y'all to read some of these comments down here. And this is like, he got a lot of service members that are up in here leaving this man comments, bro. First one, from Bishop Jacobs, whatever the hell. Mr. Smith, respectfully, as a member of the U.S. Air Force, if you have a friend in the military, as you have said, I advise you to go to them before you speak on a matter you know nothing about. Our required training on the subject matter have senators, congressmen, and a past, I don't know, this motherfucker right bad, a past president urging us not to follow illegal orders. They got to capitalize that shit for them. So stop making a fool of yourself and get the facts before you open your big mouth about things you don't know. If you truly wanted to pass on valid information, get the true facts. This is not sports where you rant about your opinion. This is real life that affects people's lives on a daily basis. Let's go to another one. Maybe it's just one person. As the poet said, told by an idiot full of sound and fury, significantly nothing. Okay, maybe it's just them three. Let's go to the next one. Stephen A. I need the same energy you gave Mark Kelly, that loud energy for Pete Hegseth, who from reporting gave an illegal order. They got receipts. I need to hear about his qualifications and why he should not be leading the military. Let's go to another one. Maybe you missed the part about following illegal orders. At no point did Mark Kelly say to disobey all orders. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe some more. Veteran here. I took an oath to the Constitution, and when we were in it, it's drilled that you do not follow illegal orders. It's in the USMCJ. Remember, I was following orders. It's not a legal defense. True. Another one. Bad take. You literally can't follow legal orders in the military. The Nazis tried that. Another person, as a military veteran, I can tell you that we were educated in USMCJ in strict adherence to it. This is to include the fact that you should not follow unlawful orders, as you can find yourself in big trouble. Military members are governed by the USMCJ, which ensures that its members can't commit war crimes or atrocities and use the excuse, I was just following orders. If the president doesn't like it, then the USMCJ must be changed. Please understand that all of these people in the video are veterans. This is not something that civilians ever think about. Dude, I don't know how many of these bitches I done read down. I was just following. Man, look, so this motherfucker don't know what he talking about. And he just literally got his little black ass up on the fucking internet, ranting and raving about something he has no idea about. That's embarrassing. We all know, like, for anybody that's been paying attention to what Stephen A. been on, like recently, Stephen A. always been cooning, bro. He always been cooning. He's still mad at Max Kellerman because T.O. told him that Max was blacker than him. Stephen A. tap dances like a motherfucker for that other side, and it's so apparent for the people that actually open their eyes and see it. It doesn't make any damn sense. These people never told the military members to not follow orders. They said unlawful, illegal orders. If you get one of those, you do not follow it. You do not follow it. You do not follow it. And it's crazy that is so hard in 2025 to understand. You like it, and it's like you're intentionally not paying attention to what they're saying and intentionally just saying something else. And I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, because Stephen A. is more towards the right. He's more towards the right. But I'm gonna show they actually had them all together, because these motherfuckers, they just losing their mind. Was it this one? It might have been that one. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Check this, y'all. We about to watch a little couch politics. Because they had a whole full segment breakdown on this shit. So maybe Stephen A. should have watched this shit beforehand, but I think he got his talking points from APAC or some shit like that. Because this is embarrassing. But look, they had a full conversation, a full panel conversation on this shit. Like, I would tell people most of the time, please go look that shit up before you get over here and start saying shit. Stop getting in front of a camera and a microphone, just saying shit sounding stupid. And all them comments in his own comment section, bro, bad take. Maybe go talk to somebody. Maybe do some research before you start running your mouth. You telling them people they shouldn't be saying shit in a country where their military literally dictates that what they told them to do is literally what they just said. They just told them to follow your USMCJ. Don't take no illegal order because your ass gonna be in prison. And all you heard was, don't listen to the president. That's all you heard. Man, check this shit out, man. And I want you to see how they use these talking points. That's why I love watching some of these sometimes, because I'm like, dude, do y'all all talk to the same person? Y'all get together in a focus group, and then this is how y'all say, this is how we're going to approach it if this topic comes up. This is what you need to say. What's this shit?
You deserve to die. I hope you all get murdered. I hope you all get throat slashed.
You disgrace America, and I pray you die today, but not before your family does. I pray they die a painful death.
I don't know if that's what unleashed it, but we just saw the intro on the healthcare, and it started with, we actually elected an attorney general who threatened some of those things.
And, that's what we're electing now today. So, both sides have got to ratchet it down, presidents included there. But the fact
when it comes to...
Wait, can I ask you a question? Stop what? You said they want them to stop. Stop what?
They want them to stop speaking out.
So you said speaking out against Trump. So you're saying that you believe the inherent effect, but you're saying it's speaking against Trump.
Because they speak
if
out
it's speaking against Trump, then you took the message the way they intended it. You took it the way they intended it, which is that Trump has given illegal orders, and you can't name one and nobody else.
Hold on, let me just say that. With unconstitutional
what
orders.
Are they?
That's what I believe. I'm saying regardless.
I don't know.
I'm
I'm not understanding what Scott's point is.
So how do you know it hasn't been
Because
litigated?
I've been in that court.
But it hasn't been litigated. You're making that up.
No, I'm not making up.
Hello, everybody. Guys, we got Trump's most loyal baby mama, Scott Jennings. I don't have a name for the other idiot on the panel. Guys, listen carefully to these voicemails and how these people speak. Let's get into this segment and we'll talk about it.
President Trump's quest for vengeance has 6 new targets. The Democratic lawmakers who are behind this video urging U.S. troops to defy illegal orders. A source tells CNN that the FBI is now getting involved and wants to interview each of them. The president has called the Democrats traitors, and he said that they could be executed for seditious behavior. And just yesterday, the Pentagon announced an investigation into Senator Mark Kelly for his role in that video, and he threatened to court-martial him. Now, in a joint statement, the Democrats said today that the president is using...
Think about how funny that is, y'all. They're going to court-martial somebody who was a veteran. That bitch ain't in the military no more, Hulk. He a senator, but he ain't in the military. You can't court-martial that motherfucker. That shit's so funny.
...the FBI to intimidate, to harass them, but that will not stop them from doing their job to honor the Constitution. So while all of this is happening, predictably, there are threats, many of them. They're receiving bomb threats. There are some audio files of people calling into Senator or Congressman Jason Crow's office. And let me just play those for you.
And say this, man, these are his supporters. These are the same super dummies. And I know I might make somebody mad that might be a Republican or whatever. When I don't care if you're getting your feelings about it. A lot of y'all are fucking stupid. Yes, y'all elected a fucking felon. Y'all elected a felon into the White House. You're stupid. But this is what his supporters are sending to these senators because of that video. They done got him riled. He done riled these people up. And you can tell exactly who they sound like. Just listen to it.
You deserve to die. I hope you all get murdered. I hope you all get throat slashed.
You disgraced America, and I pray you die today, but not before your family does. I pray they die a painful death. Hurry up and die, you worthless traitor.
Party of family values, Christian values.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's the party of Christian values, family values, the responsible people. Now, I'm gonna slash your throat. I hope you die. I hope your kids die before you die. Really? And they always tell the people on the left, you need to tone it down. Really? Okay.
About the prudence of this video, but whether you like it or not, Trump's putting on the table the death penalty seems to have unleashed things like that.
Well, I don't know if that's what unleashed it, but we just saw the intro on the healthcare, and it started with Trump's hyperbole branding of whatever he's talking about. It fits right in that vein. I reject all of that language. I mean, we just went through an election in Virginia where we actually elected an attorney general who threatened some of those things, and that's what we're electing now today. So, both sides have got to ratchet it down, presidents included there. But the fact of the matter is, you zeroed in on Mark Kelly. He's in a unique position. He is covered by the UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. I used to do these cases many years ago. And he is, we'll give you an analogy. If 6 generals put out a video today about something Trump did yesterday, just say he sent troops to fill in the blank city to help ICE. And these 6 generals happen to put a video out the next day saying, hey, you don't have to follow illegal orders by the president. They'd be subject to justice under the UCMJ.
So are you saying, but hold on, are you saying that these senators, by simply reiterating what is in the oath for military officers, are subject now to court-martial? Is that really what you're arguing?
So only one of them, and that would be Mark Kelly.
Sure, but like, let's say any person who...
Did y'all hear the question that she asked him? I mean, this motherfucker's still going along with, yeah. So one of them. Listen to the question that she asked him.
Senators, by simply reiterating.
Next day saying, hey, you don't have to follow illegal orders by the president. they'd be subject to justice under the UCMJ.
So are you saying, but hold on, are you saying that these senators, by simply reiterating what is in the oath for military officers, are subject now to court-martial? Is that really what you're arguing?
So only one of them, and that
is what he's saying. So in your law that you're governed by as a military service member, for them saying exactly what's written, the government document that governs all service members, for them reiterating what's in your code of conduct, your law book, for you being in the service, them saying it, yeah, we can court martial. Well, one of them. Nigga, what? What? That shit won't, it won't last. It'll get thrown out real fast.
Would be Mark Kelly.
Sure, but like, let's say any
your
person who's a former military officer, their repetition of what nobody disputes that this is actually the code of conduct for the military. So their repetition of that code of conduct, you think is enough to court-martial them?
So the UCMJ doesn't work like civilian justice systems. And I hear in your question sort of a presumption that it does.
No, my question is,
you don't need the kinds of intent in the military.
If you're repeating what's in the government document, well, how the fuck can you get in trouble for repeating exactly what's in the government document that governs your behavior? Like what is he talking about? And we're not trying to compare it. She's not trying to compare it to civilian court. She's saying their code of conduct, pretty much, their law book that govern how they operate. It's gonna get these people court-martialed because they repeated what the fuck is in it? The shit that, the government drew up issues to every person, every service member that goes in. Them repeating what's in their shit can get them court-martialed? Y'all, think about how this motherfucker's on TV. That don't even sound right.
It's a basic factual question about, do you think that this is something that would actually warrant? So it's not like you're saying they're lying. They didn't say you must disobey the president. They didn't say this particular order is illegal and you should disobey it. They just said that that your code of conduct says this and you should remember to not obey illegal orders. And you're telling me today that you believe that is enough for someone to be court-martialed.
It could be, yes. I'm not saying that I would vote guilty here. I'm saying that there is a legitimate.
Sounds like you're backing away from
it. Because I think that's.
Man, look.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
A lot of stupid people, y'all. A lot of stupid people.
Those voicemails you heard is exactly what Trump wanted. You see how these Republicans speak? The party of family values, speaking about killing the man's family before killing him. The party of Christian values, right? I'm sure your God would love to hear your explanation for that one. And by the way, those voicemails sound like some old ass effing people. And what I saw there is that they aren't different than the younger ones coming up. They all speak so violently, so disgustingly, truly reprehensible, scum on the bottom of your group of people. All for what? For what? Because of a video saying, hey, by the way, military people don't follow illegal orders. That's it, very vaguely. I mean, just incredible. Which, by the way, is technically you're just trying to help the military out by saying that. The excuse of, hey, I was just following orders will not work, in case you didn't know. Like, what's the big deal? Is it political? Yeah. Everything a politician does is. In my view, a politician, every appearance, every interview, every social media post is political one way or another. If you don't see it that way, you will get played. It's just, to me, about what angle are they taking in their politics that I care about. Of course, they're politicians.
UCMJ would actually protect Mark Kelly because of their rules. Does it give them the right to court-martial somebody for doing something illegal that they find with? And this is two vastly different systems. You can get charged for DUI under a regular, Virginia or DC, Maryland court of law and still have to be subjected to the UCMJ. Right. However, asking someone to defy what they believe to be legal court orders not only is protected under the United States Constitution, but it's also protected under UCMJ. And Mark Kelly knows that, but I don't think that was the root of your question. What people are mad about when they see this is it's just an abuse of power. It's a waste of resources. Why is our FBI, when we're concerned about X, Y, and Z, trying to get with the Sergeant of Arms to hunt down 6 United States senators?
Yeah.
They're not treasonous. And the other thing is the irresponsibility of the President of the United States. We can bring up whatever candidate, whatever person we want to bring up. There is a higher bar for language for the President of the United States. And for him to utilize the language of being treasonous to being a sedition, what's the word?
Seditionist.
Seditionist, thank you. To all of these things is a fundamental problem that you talked about adding gasoline to the fire, and that's what the President of the United States did.
What about the FBI investigating the actual threats against these lawmakers? I mean, listen to what Kash Patel, the FBI director, said about that when he was asked whether they're going to get involved in the bomb threats and all the other threats that are coming in.
This idiot is about to get fired.
What goes through my head is the same thing that goes through my head in any case. Is there a lawful predicate to open up an inquiry and investigation, or is there not? And that decision will be made by the career agents and analysts here at the FBI.
Is the FBI getting involved?
Based on the fact that it's an ongoing matter, there's not much I can say.
I think that the idea...
That little motherfucker be looking zooted, bruh. He be looking zooted. Like, I don't know what he on, bruh, but I know a lot of them like popping pills when they get up in the White House and shit. These motherfuckers love that Adderall and shit. He look zooted, bruh. I'm talking about, I can't tell you, you know. This motherfucker, you be telling us about a whole bunch of shit. You the guy, y'all know this is the guy that, at the Charlie Kirk situation, he was the guy tweeting out, we got him, ain't got nobody. Ain't got nobody. Like, it's crazy, man. I like this dude, he's so stupid. But it's to be expected, man, because the motherfucker didn't put people in a position because they were great at their job. He put people in a position that would follow whatever the fuck he told them to do. And that's what we see happening right now. We got a bunch of yes men, a bunch of DEI hires in these government positions, these high government positions, over the Pentagon, over the FBI, over food and health, over education. He got these fucking boot-licking goddamn dummies, DEI hires, running all these goddamn positions. They don't know what the fuck they doing.
It's an ongoing matter. There's not much I can say.
I think that the idea that the FBI would investigate, we know who made the video.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that this was the party of free speech. But then now that there are threats, I don't hear Kash Patel saying, hey, we're going to try to find these people who are threatening sitting lawmakers.
That's right. If the FBI is talking to lawmakers, it should only be to talk about the threats that they're receiving and so that they can go and investigate those threats. What's interesting here is if the FBI if the Justice Department were to bring cases against these lawmakers, these would be thrown out. The only reason that the FBI is even looking into this is to chill speech. That's exactly what it is. He wants these people to stop. He wants other members of Congress he wants to silence Democratic members of Congress and other elected leaders on speaking out against Trump. When it comes to...
Wait, can I ask you a question? Stop what? You said they want them to stop. Stop what?
They want them to stop speaking out.
So you said speaking out against Trump. So you're saying that you believe that inherent in the video is that Donald Trump has given illegal orders.
No, actually, what I will say about...
Because what Abby argues is that they're just stating a fact, but you're saying it's speaking against Trump.
Because they speak
if
out
it's
against
speaking
Trump
against
in other
Trump,
ways.
then you took the message the way they intended it. You took it the way they intended it, which is that Trump has given illegal orders, and you can't name one and nobody else can.
Hold on, let me just say that. Congress has a role in ensuring that there are whistleblower protections when people come out.
So you believe there are illegal
orders? I'm not saying there is. I'm saying in the Biden administration. Okay. I'm saying in the Biden administration, there were whistleblowers. In other administrations, there have been whistleblowers. And what happens is Congress's responsibility to ensure that these people have protections wherever you are in the federal government and whether you're in our military. This has happened throughout administrations. So if they have reason to believe that there is something that is unconstitutional,
you believe
they should be able to move forward.
I hear you. Just to put a bow on it, you believe that that you took the message. Democrats are encouraging the military to defy the commander-in-chief over some current orders that you can't name, but you're pretty sure they're illegal.
Here's what I believe. I believe that regardless of the president, no one in our military should actually follow through with unconstitutional orders. That's what I believe. I'm saying regardless.
Y'all see a similar same talking point that Stephen A was trying to get at one point he was trying to get across? Oh, so you're implying? No, just going off of what the fuck they said. Oh, so if you're going off what they said, then they got to be implying that, the president gave an illegal order. Then they didn't say that. But you want to make that a talking point. It's like, dude, fucking that ain't even no ground to stand on anyways. Even if they did imply that he might have. But they didn't. So you going on to talk about name it and all that shit? They didn't say he made one. They just letting people know. Hey, look, remember your UNCJ, you're gonna get in trouble if you follow an illegal order. So, it's your job to not follow those. Don't follow no illegal orders. These motherfuckers, this motherfucker Scott, he like a little weasel, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that motherfucker, he a little weasel, bro. I would love to have a conversation with him because he be trying to get people get them flustered and shit and get them off. Like, dude, that ain't what I said. Answer the question. That ain't what I said. Answer the question. I'll beat it down in his head over and over. I say that shit 100 times to him until he answers the question. I make him freak out and lose his mind. Like, bro, you trying to get this bitch. He got her flustered. I ain't gonna lie. Look at her eyes. He got her flustered right now. But either way, though, let's get back into it, man. This shit is stupid. Scott, he a little sneaky little bitch.
Here's what they are.
I'm not understanding what Scott's point is.
So Scott believes,
is the idea that they're not allowed to criticize Trump?
Scott believes they're not.
Scott holds his head like an idiot, and the international community thinks those Venezuelan boats that Trump is blowing up is illegal. There's a gray area with that, I guess. I don't know the laws exactly when it comes to that. But isn't the UK not giving us intelligence now in the Caribbean?
Yeah, they said they done doing that.
Scott is really out of his mind.
They said they done doing that. And these will be the drugs that will be making it to their fucking homeland. To their side of the goddamn earth. And they said, well, look, we ain't, and the United States is the first one that can intervene because they're the closest. Motherfuckers say, well, no, we ain't sharing shit with them. They over here just bombing, and we know why. They just bombing these ships, these fishing boats, and saying that they're drug smugglers. Like, if they're drug smugglers, I want people to actually use their big brain right now. The main reason people have an issue with this is when you look at the optics of it. There was a boat that they struck a while ago. They struck it a while ago, and there were 2 survivors. You know what they did? They picked the 2 survivors up on the boat, on one of them Navy ships, and they took them back to their country. If they're drug smugglers, why don't you bring them to the United States and prosecute them? If they're drug smugglers, why don't you bring them back to the United States, interrogate them so we can figure out their crime ring and we can shut it down? No, you send them back home. Does that even sound like something smart if you're really over here trying to stop drug trafficking? It's a joke, and they playing in people's face, and people sitting around here acting like that's what it's about. I'm actually covering what it's actually about when it comes to that Venezuela shit, because they actually had another conversation on that one on here. But like, bro, it's a joke that these people are sitting around here acting like there might have not been an illegal order given, but that ain't even what they said. Like, if you want to have that conversation, motherfuckers can have that. But the topic of the hand is them telling people not to obey illegal orders. Why y'all changing it into something else? We all know what the fuck going on. Well, some of us know what the hell's going on down there in Venezuela.
And he really doesn't like people coming for his baby boo Trump. You can see it in his eyes, guys. His passion. He really doesn't like it. Guys and ladies out there, find a partner that loves you as much as Scott loves Trump. It's really beautiful to see. This sociopath, Scott Jennings, again, the only argument that he's making is the only one they all have. Well, they were just being political. They were just trying to take a dig at Trump. And it's just like, yeah, who cares if they were taking a dig at your baby daddy? It's just like, who the F cares? That's why Abby mentioned, what about freedom of speech? Because again, which is like what they always cry about. It's the same thing that happened with Jimmy Kimmel when he took him off the air. And they had to put him back on because again, this freedom of speech thing, these people are such whiny little crybabies. They're such snowflakes. They hate it. They hate it so much. They can dish it out, but they can't take it.
I know, he right. I forgot about the Jimmy Kimmel shit because that just happened a little while ago. Y'all remember when he made a joke and Trump took offense to it? He over here talking about, well, whoever the guy over the FCC that handles their deals and stuff, because they got a deal coming, they about to buy some or something like that. The show's about to get sold or some shit like that, and they gotta approve the merger or whatever the fuck. Them motherfucker got out there talking about, yeah, we should look into them. You know, all this trying to put pressure on their ass. So then they took Jimmy Kimmel off the air. That motherfucker was back in a week. He was back in a week, y'all. And that was all because Trump got mad about something that he said. A late night TV show host. And Trump getting in his feelings. It's the same shit right here. He's in his feelings to somebody saying, don't obey legal orders. Why? They didn't even say your fucking name. So why you trigger? Don't they say a guilty dog be barking? A guilty dog be barking. Sometimes they be quiet too. I got one behind me. But nah, man, that shit is funny how they getting down with that, man. Like, dude, y'all are the party that claims free speech this, free speech that, especially when y'all want to call a black person a nigga. Y'all raised almost a damn $1 million for a bitch that called a baby a nigga. Like, y'all on some real sick ass shit. but then turn around and anything that hurts your feelings. No, they can't say that. They can't say that. We need to investigate them. What? I thought you were the party of free speech.
That's all it is a bunch of crybabies. And yes, it was a bait in some ways, and Trump got baited and said he wants them executed. Because Trump is such an effing delicate flower that they knew he would explode. And sure enough, he did, as unhinged as ever. So the world can see how out of his mind this guy is. And these idiots are defending it. Republicans, that's what they do. It's cultists. Trump could have won that little battle if he just shut the F up and just said, you know what? They shouldn't be doing stuff like that. It undermines us a bit. Chill out. But no, he doesn't have the temperament. He's too emotional. Typical Republican or conservative behavior. Hysteria at its finest. Calm the F down. Shut the F up.
No. His whole point is that the root of the matter is, what is the illegal order?
That's a great question. And I know you and I have a disagreement about it.
Correct, because I believe the illegal orders are bombing people or using drone strikes illegally in the Caribbean Sea to deter what they're using as the war on drugs. And I think there are many people in this country who believe that that is an illegal order that's violative of the Constitution. And but to Scott's point is, if that's a gray area, and I don't have to, it's like playing devil's advocate, I don't have to make your point. But if there's a
Bakari, Papa, easy on the Beijing there. Easy on the black dye, Papa. Your hair look good already.
gray area, should the military follow it or not? The only point that I have is that you're correct.
Answer, yes.
You're correct, because this is not a good use of time, a good use of resources. It's only being used to chill speech. And not only that, but United States senators, whether or not it's UCMJ or whether or not it's the First Amendment, they actually have protections for the things they say because they're United States senators and members of Congress.
Sorry, Scott. The speech or debate clause only protects them when they're performing legislative functions, not when they're out making videos and getting on X. There is no coverage.
How is that not a legislative function?
I'm sorry. The DC Circuit's the toughest circuit in the country on this, and they won't give that protection.
How do you know it hasn't been
because
litigated?
I've been in that court.
But it hasn't been litigated. You're making that up.
No, I'm not making up having litigated.
No, not that part. I know you've been around.
They have a role to ensure that if someone comes forward with information that something that's unconstitutional, they have every right to ensure that that whistleblower has protections. And what they're telling the military is something that is unconstitutional, then come forward and we will protect you.
And if they're doing that in their capacity, let's say they're on the Armed Services Committee, for example, to stay with your example, then they very well could, in performing those functions, have the speech or debate protection. They do not have it when they go out and make public announcements. You don't get it for that. You don't get it for dealing with your constituents.
So
you don't get it for dealing with federal
agencies. You don't get it at a town hall meeting?
No.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
No, you don't.
That's crazy.
Hey, look,
tell Nancy makes that. Tell Nancy makes that.
Hey, look. That'd be fun. I know, hometown, right? But look, that's just the case law. That's what the Supreme Court has said, not Ken Cuccinelli.
Well, look, I do think that
Ken Cuccinelli.
Cuccinelli, man, I would not want my last name to be Cuccinelli. Cuccinelli, damn, he got to be Italian or something. Cuccinelli.
Like, these people are so disingenuous. Before I forget this, he said earlier that he doesn't think those voicemails were based on Trump saying that they should be executed for being traitors. Such an effing liar. Unbelievable. I wish they would have cornered him more on that. Of course, that's the reason they sent those voicemails, you idiot. It's the reason why when Trump said what he said, it was taken seriously by the media. Because everyone knows, both sides, about the MAGA cultists is how out of reality they are. You heard what they said in those voicemails. They aren't all there. We all know it. Show me the Democrats. Show me people on the left leaving voicemails like that for Republicans. Like, and not all of them are stupid enough. They are stupid, right? They have a measure of stupidity. All Republicans, in my view. But some are smart enough not to leave an effing voicemail. I mean, truly. It's why I call these people brain dead. It's amazingly stupid. Ken Cuccinelli, whatever his name is, said both sides need to ratchet it down earlier. But brings up a comment said by someone 2 years ago. Just, most people don't even know about Jay Jones' comment until recently. Like, this is the president of the United States with much more reach, much more influence. Possibly the most influential person in the country, easily. Right? I would say so. Like, the comparisons they have to make, how far back they have to go 2 years ago is very telling. And again, this climate that we're in right now was created by that piece of crap, Trump, and the way he speaks and he goes about things. He created this mess that we have in politics and society right now. This conversation should be about those effing voicemails. Not if like, oh, should they be considered traitors and seditionists? Like, Unbelievable. But the insurrection in January 6th, no, what was that? That was a peaceful protest. Diablo.
That whether that is true or not would need to be litigated. But I also think that separate from that, I mean, this comes back to the basic question about speech. Is it okay for anybody in this country to say, whether they're a senator or not, that, hey, if you're in the military, you shouldn't follow illegal orders? So let's put aside their role for just a second. Is that an okay thing to say in this country, or is that a seditious act?
That is an okay thing to say. For
so
you
then
to
why
say,
is
for
it
me to
okay
say,
for,
but wait, let me finish it out.
But hold on, but why is it that it's okay for me to say, but the FBI is knocking on the door of five members of Congress who are in the House and the Senate, and one who is also a former member of the military?
Because Trump is a sociopath.
And of course, I zeroed in on the one that's the former member of the military because the coverage for him is entirely different for the others. And I agree with you that I think...
Hey, shut the fuck up, bro. What the fuck you talking about? Look, it's happening because this motherfucker in the White House is in his fields. He's a grown-ass old man in his fields, and he got triggered. But y'all don't got no problem with this, with government resource. Y'all all about this, and this is why I say the hypocrisy comes in. They wanted to kick so many people off of food stamps, kick so many people off of Section 8, wanted to fire people from their jobs, all in efforts to so-called save money. But they have no issue with this frivolous-ass fucking investigation into something that's not fucking illegal, wasting taxpayers' money, because these motherfuckers in the FBI get paid for their time. They get paid for their time. So you about to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars easily. It's probably going to be in the millions just over some shit that we all know is not illegal. Like, come on, bro. Like, dude, y'all acting like... I wonder why they claim we ain't got no money, huh?
We just watched Kash Patel explain the standard for an investigation. I think these questions are going to get asked and they're going to be ended.
But you
But
might have
may
any.
not be-
I'm not even
that
sure.
may not be true
I'm not even
for Mark
sure
Kelly
what
as
is
it relates to the military.
what is even the law
What you're
that would be
saying,
broken.
what you're saying,
This is why
what you're
he's
saying,
thrown out of court.
what you're
That's
saying,
why.
what you're saying is Pete
No law is
Hesketh
being
being out of his depth. That's what you're seeing. And you see it on Twitter, you see the back and forth, I guess it's called X now. And you see Pete Hesketh literally going at an American war hero. Democrat, Republican, you don't have to like any of his votes. Mark Kelly is a hero. And what he's doing right now is he's elevating Mark Kelly to another level politically. And I think Mark Kelly and everybody else is embracing that. For a long period of time, the politics are Gavin Newsom was the front runner for the Democratic nomination. But now people are learning about Mark Kelly because this is not fair. Pete Hesketh does not have the intellectual capacity or the military record to debate somebody like Mark Kelly. He just does not.
All right, we got to leave it there. Next for us.
And they're such softies, such little crybabies. Always just crying about rhetoric and Charlie Kirk and all this crap. And look how they talk. Like, unbelievable. I don't want to hear anything about rhetoric from these people.
All right. So, like, I'm just highly confused. I'm highly confused because when I listen to these conversations, man, I'm like, dude, like, how much money are they paying some of these Republican dudes to come up on there and sound fucking stupid, man? Like, sound fucking stupid. Like, just straight up stupid. Like, straight up stupid. Stupid. I can say that 5 times. Stupid, man. When you know what the issue is, and you keep going with it, bro. Like, is anybody gonna have some goddamn balls to be like, nah, bro, that ain't it right there, bro. That ain't it right there. Like, y'all tripping, bro. But you know, I'm trying. I gotta find this other one, man, because this shit right here, this shit right here it's gonna explain to you exactly why they are. Oh, and I ain't talking about no SNAP benefits. So we gotta find the one about Venezuela, bro. Because a lot of people don't know the situation what's going on down there in Venezuela, man. They don't know why we don't. Well, they claiming that it's for drugs and shit. But anybody in the know it ain't about no damn drugs. Yeah, we about to actually have somebody actually. And I don't really mess with this lady that much no more. I used to watch a lot of their shit over there, but I don't really fuck with their shit now. Just chink a bitch. But Anna Kasparian got on the show, and I just want y'all to hear this because a lot of people don't know what's actually going on down there. I'm glad that she actually called it out for what it is, and more people need to be honest about it. stop lying. But either way, though, here we go.
When terrorists are coming into the U.S., it is our business. What are you talking about? MS-13,
We
Trent
provide
Nicaragua,
material
there
support
are
to
terrorists.
the fishermen, just like the Maryland man.
Wait.
It's
We just had one of these strikes.
Right.
And
Foreign combatants do not get American.
Damn, I'm sorry. That lady right there ugly as fuck.
Guys,
That's a
Not just-
preposterous question.
not
Let's skip ahead.
Night of the Living Dead is back on
Here we
the
go, let's
panel.
go.
I'm just at a loss of words. Let's get into the segment and we'll talk about it.
The secret siege that's playing out in international waters as President Trump escalates his war on narco-terrorism. Tonight, the Trump administration is taking a victory lap after it says that the U.S. military blew up 4 suspected drug smuggling boats in 3 different strikes in the Pacific Ocean. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth posted this video. He says that 14 people were killed and there was 1 survivor. The strikes mark the largest one-day operation and the deadliest so far. Trump has been building up his military strength in the Caribbean, targeting boats near Venezuela that it claims are trafficking drugs. But the administration has provided no evidence of this, and transparency appears to be merely a suggestion, because Reuters is reporting that U.S. military officials involved in Trump's missions have been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements. CNN previously reported that Hegseth...
I heard that shit. These motherfuckers got folks in the military signing NDAs. What you think they trying to hide? You got them signing NDAs.
As Reuters is reporting that U.S. military officials involved...
NDAs. Any of y'all that's attached to this stuff that we doing down there by Venezuela, I need y'all to sign an NDA. So now if you say something about it, I'ma sue you. I'ma sue you. Like, even if I did something wrong, I'ma sue you. It's like, come on, bro. It's like that don't seem a little suspicious?
Involved in Trump's missions have been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements. CNN previously reported that Hegseth's office started requiring NDAs to prevent leaks. Now, Trump is right now overseas in Asia on his diplomacy tour, and today he and Hegseth spoke to troops in Japan, where they both seemed to joke about blowing up boats.
You've been watching what our missiles do to boats and ships and submarines. How about the submarine? They said, no, that was just fishing. The only problem is nobody wants to go into the sea anymore. Even the fishing boats, they say, let's take a pass.
I would not want to be in a drug boat in the Caribbean right now.
Before we get started, I want to mention Julia Ioffi's new book that just came out. It is called Motherland, A Feminist History of Modern Russia, From Revolution to Autocracy. Great to have you with us on the panel, Julia. And also, on this issue of what Trump is doing, really, in the region. I do think that's kind of what this points to is people are seeing the boats being blown up, and nobody disagrees with getting tough on drugs and drug smugglers. But there's also the question of whether there are alternate aims. And I wonder what you think of that.
Well,
and I want y'all to really understand the logic of this. Who in the fuck gave the United States the right to strike boats on the outside of the hill? We have our government. I understand if we're at war with another country for whatever fucking reason, I get that to a certain extent. But what gave the United States the right to send missiles and strike ships outside of U.S. waters, not even close to the United States, but strike boats with impunity and we just indiscriminate, so we can just kill people anywhere we want and nobody's ever gonna ever say anything about it. And then Americans wonder why when they go to other countries, people don't like America. They try to act like it's something wrong with these people, where your country can just bomb them. Obama was drone striking the shit out of the motherfuckers in the Middle East. And they just supposed to be fine with it, right? All because of a fear that your country claims they have against us when we ain't even did nothing to you. They ain't even do nothing to you. If for all the people that don't know, Afghanistan and Iraq, them people were not the ones on the 9/11 plane, just so you know. You need to go talk to the Saudis about that shit. You need to go talk to the Saudis. You see, we didn't invade Saudi Arabia. So you can see why people would not like these motherfuckers, because I'm like, this is perfectly fine, and we all just sit here and just okay with it. Yeah, blow up ships in another country, just tell us, oh, you did it for that reason. Even if they were drug smuggling, fuck, does that arrest them? Just kill them. That's perfect. Just kill them. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy that we're okay with that. And then they wonder why people don't like us. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm just surprised that nobody has tried a war on drugs before.
Let them motherfuckers kill. Let them motherfuckers shoot an American boat. Oh, them bitches going to war. America going to war. Let another country do what America's doing right now. Oh man, America try to bomb the shit out of their ass.
Right? Brand new idea.
Brand new idea, and it has never been tried. I'm sure it'll be successful this time. But I think that to be more serious, the secrecy, the fact that this is all televised, and it's become theater, and if you zoom out even further, the way that there are ICE quotas and now people in charge of these ICE offices are being swept out, the destruction of the East Wing of the White House. All of this to me points to a broader, more alarming pattern, which is that what is this being done for? And the fact that the office of the presidency, which is already a very personal office, that it's all being personalized so highly that the state is being equated with the president, with the person of Donald Trump.
So
and
what do you think it's being done for?
I personally think that an infrastructure is being built to allow Donald Trump to stay in office indefinitely. I don't think that what's being done to the White House, you don't do that if you think that anybody else is going to inhabit this thing after you and if you are planning on leaving power.
Lydia?
Well, on the Venezuela point, I just want to note in all of this, what's being lost is Venezuela is a foreign terrorist organization. It's been designated as such by the Trump administration.
Shut up, robot.
Yeah, like think about that. Okay, look. The way this is a trick that a lot of these motherfuckers be saying, and it lets me know that she's a real dummy, but she's gonna end up doing her dumb shit. Just because the Trump administration designated something doesn't make it that. But they go along with it. Oh, they said it was that, so I just believe them. But they're the same people that don't trust the fucking government. Dramatically, now you trust it because the guy you think you like, the guy you like is in there. The man who does no wrong. He who does no wrong, y'all. It's crazy. It's like, bro, just because they called it, that don't mean it's that.
How can an entire country be a terrorist organization? What in the hell is she talking about? This Stepford wife. Guys, what do you think? I agree. Trump is going to try to stay, assuming his decrepit ass makes it there the next 3 years. Think about it like this. For one, he tried the only time he ever had a chance to. Meaning he is 1 for 1, 100%. At times he tried to steal an election when he had an opportunity. So that's an easy one to me. But how about the most obvious evidence here? He didn't get punished whatsoever last time, right? Why wouldn't you try it again? Right? Plus you have much more loyal cultists around you than ever before. If you're Trump, why wouldn't you try it? Think about it. If you're him, what does he have to lose? What does he really have to lose by trying to steal the election again? What, they're going to put a mid-80-year-old at that time in jail, let alone
I'd put his ass in jail, but too many of these people got sympathy for somebody that would never have sympathy for their ass.
Past president? It just ain't going to happen. So game theory tells me 100% he would try to steal the election one way or another. I mean, look at what he's already doing with...
Hell no. Know what they need to do? This is what they need to do, y'all.
Lock them up.
Oh, man.
Lock them up.
Stop playing. Motherfucker break the law and lock his ass up. I don't give a fuck. Crying on no old ass man.
Midterms. Trying to steal the election through redistricting. Do I think they will succeed? No, because as I've said a billion times, they are stupid, not capable mentally. That goes for all Republicans in general. I just think these people are incapable people, insufficient, crybabies, right? That can't deal with an ever-changing world around them.
And so they see this ultimately as not even just foreign policy, but ultimately protecting the homeland. So that's where all of this is coming from. And that is how they're justifying these attacks. These are terrorists. And there was a 2025 FBI report that found basically Venezuela is exporting gangs. They are exporting the regime in an effort to bring crime and sow chaos into America.
That's not why they're saying that they're doing these
and
attacks on the vote.
they've fired intelligence analysts whose analysis and whose final product disagrees with that. So when you say that the government has designated them this or says that they're terrorists, the way that they've hollowed out these institutions makes it very hard to trust.
It was a January 25 report. So it wasn't
Trump that they came out is that there was a report that was produced by the Trump intelligence officials that basically countered this idea that there was sort of this government effort to quote unquote invade the United States with gang members. There was no, according to this report, they couldn't substantiate that. But again,
I think it's pretty clear. In New York, and
maybe this is
New York
about
has been
gang
terrorized by
members,
these gangs.
But Trump is saying that it's actually about drugs. And look, I mean, if it's about drugs, why can't they produce any evidence to back that up.
Well, they can. The
Then why
nation
aren't
is
they?
suffering from a huge number of drugs coming in across the southern border, carried by gangs from South America. 100,000 Americans dying a year from these overdoses.
fentanyl.
And I can,
Fentanyl, right?
Which
that's
isn't
right.
coming from
fentanyl
Venezuela.
doesn't come
Well,
from Venezuela.
let me just
They
finish.
want a regime change in Venezuela.
Well, actually,
This is what Trump has wanted since his first term. He tried to install Juan Guaido, not once but twice. It didn't work. So now there's a military buildup because they want regime change. And the Trump administration isn't even hiding it. So why are we pretending like this is about drugs?
there's
It
also,
is about.
You're goddamn right.
Thank you, Anna, for calling it out. Y'all know people still in America be bitching about gas prices right now. What do y'all think Venezuela has? I ain't trying to sound like conspiracy theorists or nothing like that, but I'm saying just think about it. Venezuela is sitting on the world's largest reserves of oil. Maduro ain't giving them bitches the oil. Maduro ain't giving them bitches the oil. The United States needs some more oil. Everybody think the oil that we got in our fucking country is actually something we can fucking use. We have to send that to another country for them to refine it because we don't even have the refineries here. That's why we still buy oil from everybody. People that ain't never caught on to that. We got that shitty ass oil. You got to go do some shit to that shit before you can use it. And we ain't got the shit to do it. So we send that shit out. We pump that shit and send it out. We import everybody else's oil. Motherfucker got a man, but this is oh Lord, it's crazy. It's all about a regime change, y'all. The bitch ain't bringing no drugs up here.
Drugs. And the fact is, most Americans are very supportive of the idea of waging a war on drugs. These people may not be wearing the uniform of a foreign country, but they are nevertheless combatants against
well, let me just
America.
also, can I just insert something that is fundamental about this? These strikes are also illegal.
Yep.
And so whether or not we want to talk about that fact or not is something else. But while you're
I
talking
disagree
about,
with that.
well, I mean, you can. I mean, but
It's not illegal. Rand Paul is going to Congress to try to get a bipartisan effort to
Does it-
make them illegal.
But they are.
And to
But they-
require
these are-
that the
2011 drone
president
strikes
go to
initially
Congress
was
for
widely
strikes-
used without congressional
strikes-
authorization.
And does that make it legal? No.
It's been widely
But
used
does
under
that make it legal?
Obama, under
Does that
Biden,
make it
under
legal?
Trump.
I mean, I have a problem with Barack Obama's drone strikes. Does that make it legal is the question. The answer is no. But also, I wanted to just piggyback one quick point about deposing and deposing a leader in Venezuela. This is also about something that should make every American's blood boil because of our memories. It's also about oil.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been here before. And we've seen what happens when we go to war, wherever it may be, boots on the ground, that's where it's going next, and it's going to be about oil.
These conspiracy theories are just preposterous.
It's not a conspiracy theory. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve of
That's
any
right, but there's
country.
no proof that that's
what
why
Trump
Donald Trump is
eyeing,
doing
and
it.
it's abundantly clear.
Here's what else has been going on in addition to the strikes.
Tales from the Crypt, then release the evidence. Like, I really don't get how they continue to use the same ridiculous talking point. It's obviously not about drugs. We know where 90% of it or something like.
Look, I'm gonna let him finish too, but look, it's the same thing we see all the time when the cops shoot a black person and they claim they had their body cams on, but they not gonna release the tape. Every time they in the right, y'all notice they send them fucking videos out real quick. We want to calm it down. You see, he was crazy. Justify what we did. They'll put it out quick if they in the right. But if they in the wrong, they gonna hide that shit. That's exactly the same playbook they're doing right here. They're telling you it's about drugs. They ain't showed you no damn drugs. They done sent two of the motherfuckers back that supposedly was smuggling drugs. Like, what look, this ain't about no drugs, bruh. This ain't about no drugs. And they won't sit here like they don't give a fuck. There's people dying out there. I hope you know that, right? And you're supposed to be the party of Christians. You're supposed to cherish every life. But no, you don't care. You just gonna let them say something to your face and just tell you to just go on, believe it. And you just, okay. You're in a cult. You're in a cult for shit like that. And that's some evil ass shit right there. Because there's some evil ass shit right there.
Like that is coming from. And it's not Venezuela. It's from one of our largest trading partners. Mexico. And really, who you really need to go after is the Americans exporting it into the country or importing it into the country. Over 80% is brought in by Americans coming from Mexico. Like, that's who we really should be held accountable.
That's who it is. Look, that's who bringing it. It's them white folks bringing that shit in here. White people like drugs. Contrary to a lot of people's belief, white people like drugs. There's a lot of white drug dealers out here. Contrary to belief, I know it's always supposed to be a black guy on a street corner, but the biggest drug dealers in this country are white people. And they know it, but that's not what they're addressing. Just like they know the number one employer of illegal immigrants in America was white people. Did they lock any of them people up, but they still hunting down the fucking Hispanics that came over here illegally though. It's against the law to hire somebody. You can sue. Bruh, it's some crazy ass shit. And people just sitting around act like they don't see this shit. And I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't it. That ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Same talking
Destabilizing
point.
another country, but this isn't about any of that. I don't believe Trump cares about anyone dying from drugs in this country. Obviously, I just think he's an egomaniac. He doesn't have that DNA of thought.
He hiding from the Epstein files. He needed, y'all to build up drama around other shit so they stopped talking to me about them Epstein files.
He just doesn't have that in him. We all know that. I'll tell you later what I really think it is. But I know 100% it's not about saving American lives. He just doesn't care about that kind of stuff. But let's get back into this and we'll talk about that later.
We've got an aircraft carrier docked in Trinidad and Tobago, another one moving toward Venezuela, 4,500 Marines and sailors in the area, so on and so forth.
All that money getting wasted.
Long list of assets that are being moved into the region.
All that money right there getting wasted for nothing. All that money. Y'all know it's millions of dollars getting burned off every day just because this motherfucker want to play games. We got problems in the United States of America right now. People talking about they can't afford shit. They talking about the economy so bad. You over here wasting money on this bullshit because you want you want another country's oil. And it'll distract a little bit from my shit that I got going on.
And
it's stupid.
Again, if this is just about taking these fishermen or whatever carrying drugs, if they are carrying drugs out of the water, then why the massive mobilization?
Well, look, Marco Rubio has been very clear since he came in as Secretary of State that basically America First policy means also paying attention to what's happening in the Western Hemisphere. And that has been a long agreed thing in foreign policy, that going back to when Teddy Roosevelt was in office. And so his first trip was to Latin America because he wants to enhance our relationship with our allies. And they've also been clear, the fact that they're publicizing these strikes, right? We're not questioning if they're happening. The Trump administration is confirming they're happening. And that's clearly sending a message to Maduro.
But we are questioning who they're killing, right? And so there is a fascinating argument here that people are saying, and we just don't know because of NDAs and everything else, that there are some innocent people who've been killed, like some actual real life fishermen who've been killed.
The fishermen, just like the Maryland man.
Wait.
We
just had one of these strikes, and there were 2 survivors. If these were
now
illicit
there's a third from this latest.
Okay, and now there's a third. Why do we send them back to their country of origin if they're really drug smugglers and terrorists? Why wouldn't we then take them and bring them back to the U.S. for questioning? If they're
I remember I said that shit earlier. If they really trying to solve this problem, why wouldn't they do that? It don't seem a little suspicious that they send them back to the country. If they drug smugglers, they can smuggle drugs again. You don't know nothing about their organization. You're just gonna take them back. You wouldn't do that if you were really trying to fight a war on drugs. Man, look, if you bark like a dog, scratch his ass like a dog, man, it's just a fucking dog, man. Stop trying to let them tell you it's a pink rainbow or some shit. I don't know. That it ain't that. It ain't that.
Process. If we're just letting them go back to their countries, maybe they're.
And this is like I appreciate that you brought up Maryland man, because it kind of ties into the larger argument that is a huge difference between my friends to the right and myself, which is that there's nobody saying that you should not have deported the Maryland man, as you call him. But what we are saying is there are things in this country called due process. And so what we're seeing right now is the erosion thereof. And so when you have things like innocent people, and that question remains, being bombed or exploded because of strikes in the Caribbean, that should cause chills.
Right.
And combatants do not get American
They are
due process.
designated terrorists. Look, guys, I'm old enough to remember.
It's not about due process. If you really think they're drug smugglers, why would you just release them so that they can just do it again? You effing idiots. They were just dying for one of them to say due process so they can jump on it. They don't deserve due process.
When Donald Trump said, elect me because I don't believe in starting new wars, he's not only starting a new war with Venezuela, but he has soured U.S. relations with Colombia, a longstanding ally to the United States. Just deciding to strike random boats in the middle of the ocean does nothing to stop.
The reason that I appreciate you being aghast when you started your statement is because the way that this is going to be framed in the larger dialogue, which is like I love looking at social media when we get off air, is that for some reason we are protecting or taking the side of drug dealers, which is the most intellectually dishonest argument that people make. And it's hard to have substantive arguments. But the real thing that people are I don't want two things. I don't want the erosion of due process, and I do not want to start another foreign war on the premise of oil or whatever it may be.
Agreed.
Can I just
There's actually
chime
no
in?
evidence
Can I
that
just
this
chime
is
in
about oil?
as
None, that's just made up.
somebody who's a refugee from the Soviet Union? When these things are shrouded in secrecy, when we take away people's due process, and then we say, well, they didn't deserve it because we know that they were terrorists or drug dealers because dear leader told us so. Before you know it, they'll start coming for you, and people who were on your side yesterday will say, well, I'm sorry, but the young woman in the yellow jacket was also a terrorist and a traitor, and she doesn't deserve due process.
But foreign combatants do not merit due process.
But there's no
Anyone
evidence that these people are foreign combatants.
They
They're
are.
fishermen.
Betsy, can I ask you this?
That lady said foreign combatants. Oh, so they've been shooting at the United States too? Like, girl, you just saying shit.
Administration hasn't provided a shred of evidence
I
of
want
who
to
these
just ask
people
you
are
to
and what they've
respond
actually
to
done.
what she's saying on a fundamental level, which is that when the government just says we can kill whoever we want because we're telling you that they're bad guys, isn't that a bad precedent to set?
That's a preposterous question.
Not just for you, not just for
It's a
those
great
people, because
question.
I don't know who those people are.
These
But what
are
about?
foreign
But what about if?
What's wrong with that lady? She hasn't had a lot of plastic surgery, bro. She can barely open her mouth. She can barely open her mouth right now, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Would you trust it inside?
But what about if
Joe
the
Biden
government
told you
said
this?
that and it was
I don't
not the
think he would
government?
tell
that
us. There's no
supported?
transparency with the Biden administration. Trump is at least letting us know what's happening, and they have promised more information. But look, I mean, he has been designated
But
a
Lydia,
terrorist
last I checked, we
organization.
didn't have this scenario.
This is my thing. And come on, the young lady in yellow, come on now, she's about 4,000 years old. But let's get back to serious.
Damn.
stuff. Release the evidence then, Night of the Living Dead. You should be wanting them to release the evidence. She keeps saying there's no evidence. You guys are just making up conspiracies. Yeah, then show it's about drugs so people don't make things up, as you say. Just like the Epstein files. Don't want to be implicated, Trump? Then release the damn files, Papi. It's very, very easy, my friend. Like, I don't get this. Listen, isn't this obvious? You probably... Right, somebody should probably bring this up, but you probably should.
They keep telling y'all it's nothing to see here, but they hiding that shit like a motherfucker. It's like, man, what's behind? Ain't nothing behind my back. Why you got your hand behind your back though? Ain't nothing behind my back. Let me see your hand. Nah, ain't nothing behind my back. It's like, dude, there's nothing here, but they got a lot of pundits paying a lot of money for people to come out here and run cover for this shit. That don't seem a little suspicious, y'all?
Shouldn't go into war with a country that we already have immigration issues with, right? Meaning destabilizing that country further. Do you think that will increase or decrease immigration into the United States? Like, this is
Man,
so
they gonna
stupid.
flee. They gonna flee Venezuela and run up here. And start fucking
Yeah,
with
we're
them for real,
stopping
for real.
immigration
Same
by
thing
making
did with
the
Mexico.
countries around us that are already not livable even further not livable than they were before. That's a really smart idea. Shouldn't you look to aid these countries instead of trying to go into war with them, which will deplete them of their resources and wealth even further? Like, again, what happens? Like, what do you think will happen when the citizens of Venezuela will do? Where do you think they will go during war times? When there's even less food, even more crime? China? That doesn't sound right. Seems a little bit too far, right? Same thing with Europe. That seems a little bit too far, right? If you're in Venezuela. Oh, I know. How about the richest country in the effing world that's right above us? Like, I don't want to hear shit about Venezuelan immigrants flooding into the United States in a few years if we go through with this garbage.
Real
the Biden
shit, though.
administration. I mean, I think everybody would be raking them over the
about the
coals.
Biden
But
administration.
hold on, everybody would be raking them over the coals if they
We would
were
never know, 'cause they wouldn't
striking
report it on
boats on a daily basis without providing a shred of evidence of who they were striking. What kind of drugs were they carrying? What organizations were they a part of?
I mean, you
Who
guys
sent
aren't
them?
at least
Where were they
inquisitive?
even?
You don't want to know anything
Where were
about
they
it?
going?
No, because
I mean,
they're
these are
leaders
really
of it,
important
so
questions,
we
don't
just
you
gotta go
think?
along with it, right?
Nobody, you're like, I'm curious because I've always wanted to know how people who are diametrically opposed to me on issues think. So do you want to know if they had drugs? Do you want to know where they were going or coming from? Do you want to know who they were? Do you want to know who they're...
Betsy, do you want to know?
I mean, do you care about
That
any of that?
information is going to be provided. In the meantime,
When?
Rand Paul has gone to
They're
Congress.
dead now, though.
And he's
Hey, look, y'all, and this lady on here saying it's gonna be provided later. This video is like 4 weeks old. Ain't been nothing provided yet. Matter of fact, they just literally they get in trouble right now because supposedly Pete Hegseth told them double tap their ass. They shot one boat and there was 2 people still alive. They tapped that hole again. So I'm like, look, man, it's been 4 weeks and they ain't told you nothing. They ain't told you shit, bitch. You still believe in him?
Expecting to get, and I think he will get, a bipartisan resolution asking Congress to give permission to Trump to conduct this kind of activity.
And
that's a good step. But nevertheless,
Should've
Trump
did that
realizes,
first.
I believe, that his duty is to keep these drugs out of the United
But what
States.
drugs are we
because
even
they're
talking about?
costing
You took-
What-
so many
Yeah, what
lives.
drugs?
Even
You just
Ain't
talked
seen
about-
no
Hold on a second,
drugs yet.
but what drugs are we
I didn't
talking
mention fentanyl. One of
Yeah,
our
but
other
you-
guests
yeah, but the
mentioned
reason that they
Fentanyl's
met-
not coming
hold
from
on.
Venezuela.
What drugs-
Fentanyl
I didn't
comes
say
from
fentanyl.
China.
I didn't say
So
fentanyl.
what
Hold on,
drugs
hold
are
on,
coming
hold
from
on, hold
Venezuela?
on. The reason that they're talking about fentanyl is because you said that the drugs that are killing all those hundreds of thousands of Americans, well, that drug is fentanyl.
Yep.
So the reason I'm asking you, do you even know what drugs we're talking about?
I'd
Because
like
I
the
don't.
government to supply that information, but to suggest that Trump is becoming an authoritarian military
Oh,
dictator
God.
over this is preposterous.
It's-
And that
Oh, for fuck's sake. Not that again.
That lady said preposterous, y'all. This is preposterous. Bitch, you goofy bitch. I ain't to be honest. She a goofy. She look funny.
to suggest that Trump is becoming an authoritarian military dictator
Nobody
over
said
this
that.
is preposterous.
It's-
And that it's somehow linked to the White House ballroom. That's
Well, I mean, I
really
think she
wacky.
was
I think what's
I don't have to-
ridiculous is that we're all pretending like this is about a drug war when in reality it's about a
oil.
regime change war. Secretary of
Where's
State
your
Marco
evidence?
Rubio has a bone to
Tried
pick.
it twice.
What they say out loud that we're supposed
Everything
to pretend
they
like
said.
we're not supposed to listen to. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, has a bone to pick with Venezuela because he feels that they're providing material support to Cuba, and he wants regime change in Cuba because he himself is a Cuban American and doesn't like that the communist revolution happened.
I'd like to see regime
Okay.
change in Cuba
Okay, but that's
too.
not our business. Okay, we have people suffering here in the United States. I'm not
It
interested
is
in
their
a regime
business
change
when
war
they are
in
coming
any
into the
country.
US.
I'm interested in taking care of our country.
When terrorists are coming into the U.S., it is
What
our
terrorists?
business.
What are you talking about?
MS-13,
We
Trent
provide
Aragua.
materials.
The number one threat to the United States, which the FBI took off their website, is far-right white supremacists. Not no motherfucker from Venezuela, not no motherfucking MS-13, not nobody from Cuba, not Trinidad, Aragua, whatever the fuck that shit is. Not none of that. We've already had data out here, man. Homegrown terrorists and white folks. That's the number one threat, not these other folks. FBI been done told y'all about that shit. These people crashing out here, and y'all over here talking about these motherfucking brown people down there. No, that's not it, buddy. The girl calling people terrorists and shit. Like, girl, shut up.
There are terrorists all around the country, all
According
around the
to
globe.
the
as we
FBI,
speak.
there are literally gangs trying to infiltrate the U.S. So we would love to just.
I thought
Okay, where they
Trump was
coming
protecting
from?
our borders. What happened? He's not protecting our borders?
Yeah, that's
People
exactly
are able
what
to
he's trying to
infiltrate
do.
our country
He's
trying to protect our
by
borders.
killing random fishermen in the ocean.
Out of the
All
country.
right, all
Come
right.
on.
Look, I think it's a really interesting point here that you're debating, which is Trump says the border is closed, but he's also saying we're currently being infiltrated. That doesn't check out. But secondly, I mean, again, shouldn't he prove that these boat strikes are doing something about Tren de Aragua or whoever else? So far, there's been no evidence one way or another. And I think it's just, we can't make even pass judgment on what's happening because we don't even know
But it's
who
also,
we're talking about.
I mean, the arguments are kind of asymmetrical because you're talking about America first, and that's usually the through line of everything that people say. That's where they fall back. But then you don't have really an excuse for the $40 billion you sent to Argentina, other than just oh my God. But I mean, if we're talking about bailing out Argentina, but we have people here suffering, then I'm not sure how your America first MAGA thing works.
All right, next for us.
And look, he ain't lying about that because a lot of folks didn't even know they did that shit. You know, like the farmers in America been bitching and shit because, you know, with all these tariffs he got going on, a lot of these Chinese folks are buying they shit from other countries and shit. So a lot of these farmers are suffering right now and they need a bailout. They need a handout. You know, the same thing they claim they don't want nobody else in America to get. But now they've been out there bitching and crying and complaining that Trump done fucked up their money. So now they need the government to give them some money. And they already give a lot. The government actually gives a lot of money to farmers throughout the year, anyways. But shit, they need some more money. He sent $40 billion down there to fucking Argentina to help them with their soybean production. You literally got Americans in America that produce this product. That's one of our biggest exports. And you don't help them, but you go and help motherfuckers in Argentina, give them $40 billion. And they just sit here and act like ain't none of that shit happened. He's for America. Okay.
It's a major shakeup in
Fucking Anna. Preach it. The MAGA robot mentions the FBI. Listen, the head of the FBI under Trump and Biden, Christopher Wray, said white nationalism was the #1 threat to the U.S. right now. I would call them the terrorists. But let's keep ignoring that like it never happened, nothing to see there, right? This is the thing. If Trump was doing these things, doing any of these things, fighting back crime, whatever, drugs, he would obviously provide proof. These people
He'll be
love to
bragging
show
about it.
off. You don't think they would be running over to Fox and OAN and all these weird news networks running over to the cameras to show, oh, look what we've done. Look at all the drugs we stopped. Making up crap, right? So obviously it isn't about drugs. I think Anna is right. Secretary Rubio, he wants a regime change, but when it comes to Trump, I don't think he cares about any of that. I'm sure Rubio has a personal bone to pick, but I think Trump doesn't care about any of that. For Trump, I think he's a very shallow, he's a very dumb man. I think he literally wants a war with U.S. soldiers on the ground. Why? Just to be like, I was a wartime president. He's talked about these kinds of things. He's so stupid, guys. I swear that's what it is. I'd love to know your comments on that, so that he can just look tough and stupid. Republicans are all about cosplaying, right? That's why they love the little guns and playing around with them, shoving it up their ass. I don't know what they do with them, playing around like they're G.I. Joe. I'm telling you, these people are effing losers. The overwhelming majority of these Republicans. I know it sounds stupid, but I really think that's what it is for Trump. It's all just like a image thing. It's an ego thing. Just like the National Guard in cities, where crimes are at historic lows. It's all for show. He wants a riot to erupt so he can be like, look what I did. Look what I stomped down. Look at this. Aren't I this great warrior? Look how tough and stupid I am. Really, that's my thought as to why Trump is doing these things.
Yeah, there he goes, man. That motherfucker. I need to help him on some of his jokes, but that shit was a little funny though. But now, like, for real, to get back to the main point, the whole thing from the very beginning, like this, Stephen A. Please, research some shit. Like, get your people to actually get on that for you, and stop getting on that line and looking dumb. It's all about the illegal order shits, and now we got the gist of what most people believe is actually about. The conflict down in Venezuela. This ain't about no drugs, bruh. This ain't about no drugs. And these senators are trying to warn these young folks that are in the military that have to actually push that button or fire that gun. It's like, hey, look, man, it ain't looking like y'all actually stopping no drugs out there. So I'm trying to tell you, they give you a legal order to double tap some people. Like, bruh, don't do it. You probably shouldn't do it. And now they all running around in the White House right now at the Pentagon trying to, it's CYA over there. The CYA is cover your ass over there right now at the Pentagon because they just double tap somebody on whistleblower and told, like, hey man, them people out there you hit the boat, 2 people survived, you double tapped it again. Like, bro, you're gonna have to start giving us some information. And the sad part, that's a war crime anyways. So ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it, probably not no time soon, but shit, that's a war crime right there. They telling these people, man, don't follow that shit, bro. You're gonna be in trouble. And it's kind of disingenuous when you got people like Stephen A. Smith getting on the internet and doing all that hooting and hollering for I don't know who, what, massa, because you're incorrect. But I know a lot of people don't care whether they're right or they're wrong. It don't matter with them on that side. A lot of people on that side of the aisle, man. I see people that's Democrats that do that shit too. So I ain't even gonna act like it's just on one side, but. Like, damn, this is ridiculous, bro. Like, them motherfuckers follow this dude like he they daddy, bro. They be following him like he they daddy, man. He can't do no fucking wrong. When that motherfucker literally said he could shoot somebody on 5th Avenue and nobody, like, he wouldn't get no trouble, nobody do anything, I believe the people that support him, yeah, they won't do a damn thing to you. A damn thing to you. It's crazy how some people get down out here, man. I just can't get behind that. I know some people that do it with their families. I know some people that do it with their friends, and some people do it with famous people that they like. Like, bro, you wrong. I ain't got no hesitation to fucking say it to you. But nah, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Stephen A. stupid. He Cooning, tap dancing like a motherfucker. And the rest of these motherfuckers, I don't how much money are they paying y'all to come up here and like really just promote evil shit, bro? I couldn't get behind that. I don't care how much money you're trying to give a motherfucker. But look, y'all. We saw, we conquered, man. I gotta cook something to eat, man. I'm hungry than a motherfucker. Man, look, y'all make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on, all that in the bag of chips, man. We're gonna be right back in here tomorrow, man. I found that African professor that was telling Black Americans, telling these young kids, well, talking about Black Americans, but talking to other folks, young folks from other countries, telling them that Black Americans don't have no culture. Well, he did a sit-down podcast, and we're gonna cover that tomorrow because I gotta talk some shit about his ass. Because I don't know where he get off saying that dumb shit. But We're going to get to that another day, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. As usual, all that shit, hit them like buttons and all that. But your boy going to get up out of here, and I'll catch y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.